Welcome to another episode of Hobby Nonsense, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Ray Solorio, Jesse Gibson is my name. Ray Solorio is the co-host.
That's my name.
Yes.
He's Jesse Gibson.
I didn't tell you this. You just got here. I
just walked into the door.
I literally wanted to just hit the ground running. We have a lot of things to cover.
We have a lot.
A lot of
sick?
news. That's what I wasn't gonna say. I think I may be getting sick, but don't worry. I am taking medicines, and that's not true. I'm not taking anything. I'm just gonna stay over here.
Michigan air.
That's too fresh. That's the problem. My body could not adapt in that amount of time, and now I'm sick.
You need some Red 40 to get kind of.
I know, right? There's too many natural things up there. Here's what I walked away from Michigan knowing. I love the state, and I've slept on it for my whole life. I feel bad about that. I slept in it and on it. I love, though, the state of Michigan. It's a fantastic state. Have you been?
Where in Michigan?
So I'm
as I'm holding up a hand.
LP. Not UP.
Lower Peninsula.
Yeah, Lower Peninsula, but the top of the lower. So that's a lot of fun to explain. I'm near Traverse City is the best way. It's like the tip top. Thompsonville was where we stayed. So I walked away. Yeah, dude, the beaches there. Okay, so they have these sand
real beaches.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
Beaches.
I know what you're saying. I definitely do. The beach we went to in Frankfurt on what was that, Sunday?
Frankfurt, Germany.
So Frankfurt, believe this or not, there's two of them, Germany and Michigan. I know. No one told me either. So I'm at this beach. The water is crystal clear. At least 10 feet down, if not more. I went out as far as 10 feet, and I could easily see the bottom.
It was amazing.
And it was blue. And then you got these sand dunes that are as high as like the hills here in Hendersonville. And I was absolutely stunned by just how pretty this place was. So that was the second thing. The beaches there were underrated. Now, granted, not quite as warm as like a Destin beach.
Yeah.
But you get used to it. And the third thing is I walked away knowing that I can single-handedly, devastatingly beat Mike Giuseppe at chess.
I remember you being a chess guy.
No, I like chess. I've never been great at it. My brother's better than I am. He can beat me. Mike actually beat me 2 out of 3 in the first day we played, but the next day I really found
this
Stella got
really competitive, right?
Oh well, we both when we're together we both get very competitive. No money on the table. It was a friendly who's the better man, and obviously we figured it out, and that's okay. He's got things he's good at too. But Michigan overall, great state. Happy to be back.
At least in the summertime, right? You weren't there in the winter.
That's very true. I do not know. I can't speak for winter Michigan, and I'll leave it at that because I don't want to speak to winter Michigan. I don't have any desire to go there then, but I will go back in the summer all day long. This was like a family thing. My dad couldn't go. I got back home yesterday. And I'm like, crap, I didn't get my dad anything. So I feel bad there too. It's a whole it was as the sick brain started kicking in when we were leaving, I couldn't help really think about anybody but myself. Do have a guest joining. We finally have someone to come on and talk about Lorcana, which I think is actually a really appropriate time because after inviting them on, I started doing a little research, and like this next release is supposed to be like, it's going to change up a few things that I think will invite more people to the game, especially the collector. So that will be very interesting. But then we got new releases. Do you want to start with the show? The Nashville show?
For sure. So over the weekend, I went to the Nash Annual, which is the, I guess, bi-yearly big show that we have here in Nashville at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Are they doing it more is it just twice a year?
As of right now, I think they're only doing it twice a year. Okay. They used to only do it once a year.
I'll take anything I can get, but yeah, that's cool. All right.
So twice a year. I went there on Saturday right before the doors open, and I stayed there probably till right before trade night.
Oh, okay. Trade night's
because I went to go. Yeah.
Okay.
My wife and I went to go see the new Jurassic Park movie, which don't go see it.
Don't. I kind of thought. Yeah. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about Superman because there's a card.
Oh, I can't wait to see the movie.
I'm going to see it tonight.
Oh, okay,
and I'm doing this because I knew we were going to talk about Superman, and I was like, I don't need people throwing out a spoiler on accident.
Well, I didn't. I'm not a spoiler.
Tickets.
We'll talk about movies on the Movies Nonsense podcast.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Hey, coming soon. But yeah, so the National, it was awesome. I went there for one card in specifically.
Okay.
And that's the card that I'm showing Jesse right now. This is the new Captain Pikachu coming out of the Chinese set.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So,
is this a chase card?
correct.
Okay.
So this comes out of the gem boxes in China. Yeah, I'm super in love with that card. Shout out listeners of the show, Jesse.
Oh, really?
And this was the only PSA 10 that I found in the whole show. I
Yeah?
paid $1,000 for that card.
$1,000.
Yes.
Wow.
So I think that, and I'm not trying to pump anything, so don't. I think this in the future will be like a Poncho-esque kind of card.
Really?
So they're right at $1,000 right now. You can get some for cheaper, you can get some for more. But shout out to Kevin over at Whiskey River Cards and Collectibles.
Oh, yeah.
Listener of the podcast.
Hello. Love that.
Listener of the podcast, which I would love to have Kevin on here, but he just got back from Card Party. So it's like a family vendor-esque thing, and he was telling me all about it, how he just got into it. Now he's doing it with his family, and it's awesome. So
that's so cool.
Shout out to Kevin and his family. I was able to pick up this card there. And I also picked up 2 sealed boxes of this set, which I will open one of the boxes and we will put them on our social. The Japanese ones only have 5 cards in each pack, and the Chinese ones in this case have 4 cards in each pack.
Really? Is the Chinese one more chase than the Japanese one?
Well, this is only Chinese exclusive, but I'm saying just Pokemon cards in general.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the name of that product? Is this also in English or no?
This is not. This is a Chinese exclusive.
Oh, it is an exclusive to China.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So there are 4 or 5 Chinese exclusive trainer cards in that set. The rest of them are kind of like Paldea Evolved and some Paldean Fates cards mixed in there.
Oh,
China's just kind of doing their own thing.
But
just
it
because
is like
they're new.
licensed Pokemon
Correct.
stuff.
Yes,
right?
this is a licensed Pokemon product. There's some crazy hollow patterns in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. But shout out to Kevin over there. I also, it's weird because I went in there trying to look for non-sports cards.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't look for anything other than what you're looking for, you don't really notice it.
Which this was the... Wait, actually, am I misremembering? This is the non-sports show, right? This isn't the national that's all sports. This is only non-sports.
No,
right?
this is...
Oh, this was the national? Like,
yes.
Oh, dude, I've been thinking this whole time this was the non-sports show that they put on at the same place by the same guy who does the national.
Yeah,
this was the sports show.
They call the one that's non-sports, I think they call it PokeFest.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. There is a different name.
So this had a lot of, I would venture to say it was almost 50-50, to be honest with you.
Really? Wait, 50-50 as far as
sports and non-sports stuff.
Was it mainly Pokemon?
Yeah.
As far as like the non-sports stuff goes? Okay.
But I did see a lot of Marvel stuff there.
Oh, okay. I saw you shared a couple of videos with me, like the Chris Farley
Leaf.
Was that a Chris Farley cut? Actually, was that you that sent me that or someone else?
No, I sent it.
That was you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a cut auto that someone put into a Chris Farley card. Was that what it was? Or a custom card?
It was a sketch card. I can't remember.
Oh, it was the sketch.
The sketch. Somebody else sent you something different?
Someone sent me a cut. Yeah, it's so weird. I got 2 different Chris Farley things. I couldn't remember which one you sent. The sketch actually was awesome.
And that's Leaf, from Leaf, I believe.
Oh, that was actually a licensed product?
Correct.
Oh, I thought that was
there was a lot of Leaf. No, was it licensed? I can't remember if it was Leaf.
Well, if it was Leaf, it would have been. I don't know what product they would have put that in.
So shout out to Dan. Dan was a vendor there that was just had all kinds of amazing non-sports stuff. The Ric Flair one that I showed you.
Yeah.
From it's called like Piggy Banks.
Yes. Dude,
are you familiar?
Very familiar.
Okay, so that was my first time.
Piggy Banks is a very big custom card maker.
Yes.
He has become, like, they're thousands of dollars now. for most of them. Some of them will go a little bit less, I think. But we talked about this on SCM before. I've talked about it actually on here before because there's some guys, the great curator, I believe, he is very much into collecting those. There's a big cult following behind these cards. It's funny because they're not licensed cards, but they also don't seem to be getting sued. So I don't know if they're like making deals
weird,
to
like,
be able to make
area.
a lot of these cards. Yeah. So, but that being said, the guy's got like a shop in LA, and I think you have to have like an appointment just to get in there and get like to buy cards from this guy. But it's a big deal. He's like who's the big anonymous artist,
Like
street
Banksy?
art? Banksy. He's like the Banksy of, I think that's the play on Piggy Banks.
Oh,
So.
okay. Well, I sent you the Ric Flair ones that he had, and he had some other ones, and there was another artist that he makes unlicensed cards like that. I think his name was Roberto Fuentes.
Oh, that one you did show me that video, I think this afternoon. Those cards were really cool too. I did not realize that this is becoming more of a thing, like these higher end, because that Roberto card, or a couple of them, I think you would ask the guy, I think he said $500, right?
$5,000.
Whoa, 5,000?
Yes.
I thought he was saying 500.
No, 5,000.
Holy. Yeah. Well, I mean, like one of them had Jordan on there, but it wasn't like I don't, you know what?
Well, I'll send.
Maybe it's a bigger thing. Maybe like people are hearing this and like they're like, "How do you not know him? He's just as big as Piggy Banks."
Yeah, I mean, this is a whole new world of like custom non-sports, like pop culture cards that I was not aware of until I went to the National. And shout out to Dan, he had all this stuff, and he had all these signed South Park cards and all this. Like, I mean, it was awesome. And another thing that happened while I was there, and he had a couple things that was stolen off of his table.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And then I keep seeing reports that some people have been, taking stuff at the show. So I don't know if that's like
there was like a good amount of theft.
Yeah. Like I know for sure 4 different people, not including Dan, that have had things were stolen from their tables.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Dang. Oh, okay. That's actually that's big, and that's good to know. Because, I mean, here's the thing. The National, again, if you're not familiar, the National is the Nashville card show. It's just spelled different. But the National Card Show is one of the biggest shows actually in the country. I think a lot of people don't realize just how big it is. It's becoming very popular. But that is one thing I've noticed is like doesn't seem to be a ton of security in there whenever I've been in. I think this is hopefully a good learning lesson to maybe up that a little bit.
I hope so. The resurgence of the Pokémon collecting, everyone that wants to get in, because the getting in is hot right now.
Oh yeah.
They're getting in, they're like, I'm going to vend, and they get put like in the back.
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's actually, I've got a couple other Pokemon things. I know you wanted to talk about a new release. Before we dive too much further into Pokemon, because there will be more of that, I did want to talk about a few other things. I'm just trying to think what we've got time for, because our guest is going to be joining us in just a moment. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and just mention this. Courtyard sponsor the show. I've talked about it. We're still doing that giveaway. There's a $300 comic, Spider-Man comic that we are giving away at the end of this month. That's the timetable. I said previous episodes, I wasn't sure when. At the end of this month, we're going to give that away. All you have to do is click the link in either the Sports Boy or the Hobby Nonsense Instagram pages. There's links there. If you click that link, it'll take you to their page, and you enter once you get yourself a pack of something. So it doesn't really matter what it is. Once you use that link and get yourself a pack, you're automatically entered. And like I said, end of the month, we will let everybody know who the winner is. But there's something else besides that. Actually, 2 things. So coming up, they are going to have a new app. In fact, by the time you listen to this, you may be able to start downloading it on iOS. Android, I think, comes by the end of the month for sure. But they will have an app that will be easily accessible. You don't have to do it on a computer anymore. But then they also have added back the Hobby Nonsense code.
Ooh.
Now, the code is a little different this time. How they are doing these codes is it's going to be Hobby 10. Hobby 10 is your new code for Courtyard. All you need to do is when you go to checkout, you put that in, it's going to give you 10% off. And then that will be the discount going forward. It's a 10% discount code on your first purchase. Or actually, I assume it's first purchase. I don't know if I clarified that. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, on your first purchase, we're just going to go with that.
Can I make a first purchase and then that could be an entry towards the comic book?
So that was a question I meant to ask. I don't know, but I'd say go for it.
Well,
definitely give it
at least give it a try.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Actually, so the other things that I want to talk about, including a throwback set, I want to do this too going forward if I can. Like if we find something that we like about a non-sport set that maybe back a few years, whether that's like 50 years or like 10 years or something, but maybe less known, I want to talk about them a little bit more. And I'm going to try and make more of an effort to do that. But today we'll be doing that for the first time. But first, before we do that, let's bring on our guest. All right, we are back with our guest. David Campos has joined us. David actually reached out on Instagram after he had heard that I was looking for someone to come on this podcast and finally talk about Lorcana. It is something, Disney's Lorcana is something that I feel like I've talked about here and there throughout the beginning of the show till now, but never really had someone who was very well versed in it, who knew much about it. David is going to be that guy, right, David? You're the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing it since it came out. I've been following it since before it came out. I'm still playing it now.
Nice. Okay, awesome. So how did you get into it?
So my background in card games, I grew up playing Magic the Gathering, did some Yu-Gi-Oh! I opened up original base set Pokemon cards as a kid. So I've just always been into TCGs. And during the pandemic, I basically dropped off on playing Magic the Gathering, but then new card games started to come out. And as I was going to shows and doing things, I heard about Lorcana and I was like, a Disney trading card game would be really awesome. And so I asked my friend who, we were just doing every once in a while playing some Magic. I was like, hey, you want to go try out the pre-release? And he was like, yeah. And we went, tried out the pre-release. It was a fun game. And we've been playing ever since it came out and collecting and just, enjoying the game for what it is.
So do you collect cards besides just like the playable cards? Because my understanding is right now they're not all cards are playable. Like they may have made some recent changes where unless you're in like an infinity league or affinity format of the game, then there are restrictions on some of the cards. But let's take that out, and I just want to talk about it from a collector's point of view, because that's what I am for the most part as someone who has not played the TCG but still appreciate it. Is that something that you will seek out to try and collect cards to either for your own collection or maybe to flip or gain value over time?
Yeah. So on the collectible side, I collected a complete first chapter set and I have it in my binder. It's just one copy of each. I have some friends, they went with like a master set, which is 4 copies of each. I know people who have done full foil sets, and I've done the first 3 sets. I have binders of just all of those cards. Just felt like the first 3 were the most impactful for the game developing. It was basically like the first year of Lorcana. And so those are like what are in my collection. And I do have a few pre-errata cards. There was a few cards that they came out with that had a wrong name, the wrong text within the ruling. And so I went out, grabbed a few of those. There's one that I just found out the art is messed up on a card with Elsa. And so I've been picking up those because, as we've seen in TCGs, a lot of those cards from other games later in the future, they tend to be a little bit of a hit or a chase, or people want to go ahead and collect them just because it's an error card from the very first years of when this game first came out.
Characters that are more collectible. You mentioned Elsa. I know that's one that most guys probably, if they know anything about Lorcana when it first came out, it was Elsa, the enchanted Elsa, that was hugely popular. In fact, just looking up eBay sales, it seems like that hasn't really changed that much. Her card seems to be just as valuable, if not more so. In many cases, a PSA 10 Elsa is going for like $2,500. Is this something that Elsa is like the main one, or are there other characters that would go along with her?
There's Elsa. Recently, they just talked about there's a whole new world, a card that's called a whole new world, and there was a promo that everyone's very excited for. New art, it looks amazing. There's some full arts that you can get at the Disney Lorcana challenges that people have been chasing as well. A very popular one is the Let It Go. And so it really, I think a lot of it comes around which movie set was very popular, right? We know Frozen kind of took the world by storm, right? So you can see that a lot of people like to go ahead and collect Mickey. From what I've seen at shows, when people are buying Lorcana cards, they're mostly buying Enchanteds, which is the highest rarity that you can get out of a booster pack. And a lot of times they're going for the characters that they grew up with or the characters that they favor. So a lot of Stitch, from Lilo and Stitch, Mickey, obviously, Donald Duck, he has Enchanted as well. And so you see a lot of those key characters being transacted on a lot.
In the looking again through like just some more recent sales of it, I was noticing like there's this one Elsa's Ice Palace that came out of I don't know. It says 2024 Disney Lorcana, so I'm not sure which set that would have come from specifically, but it is one of the ones that is horizontal, not like the long form one. But is this why is this going for $2,200, $2,000 in some cases?
I think it has to do with it being a Frozen franchise. Like,
is that really the only thing? Is just Frozen is like the collectible when it comes to Lorcana?
It kind of just set the precedence in Lorcana. Like, a lot of people said when Lorcana came out in that first Elsa, that Elsa was like the Charizard in comparison, And so like we see Charizard numbers, right? They're very compared to others, compared to a Blastoise, compared to a Venusaur, compared to one of my key favorites from base set, Alakazam, right? All these other great Pokemon, you just see a big difference in value. And I kind of feel like that's what you're seeing play out in Lorcana with Elsa.
Enchanteds have been the most rare. They are obviously, you've got like your D23, the ones that came out as the promo cards from before the actual set released. Those are still, I assume those are still the most valuable Enchanteds, or has there been something that's eclipsed it?
Those aren't Enchanteds. Those are the most valuable promos. So that's the other thing. Like, I would say the new chase that has developed is the Disney Lorcana challenge promos, the DLC promos that you can get when you go to these regional events. They just have the first World Championship in Florida at Disney World, and we have our first Disney Lorcana World Champ, who was, he did an amazing performance throughout the whole entire series.
Did they get something different, like a different card at that event that would be even more rare than what you'd see at like the National?
Well, so the big thing that he won was, I'm sure you've seen the Golden Mickey. So they hand out the Golden Mickeys to the top players at the regionals. They're numbered, but at the Disney Lorcana World Championship, he received the 1/1 Golden Mickey, which was graded with CGC and received a 10.
Wow. So is that something they're not doing that for other cards, right? I haven't heard of any other Lorcana cards being serialized.
No, the only numbered ones are the Golden Brave Little Tailor Mickey, which is like the first Mickey that they came out and showed off. And you can only get them if you top out at the regional tournaments.
Wow. Okay. Well, and so we've been talking about this as the Enchanted being the most rare. However, in preparation for this interview, I did a little research and I saw that Fabled, which is the first set, I guess, coming out for this next year or so. This originally came out in August of 2023. So we are finishing up the first full 2 years of this product. Now, this 9th set overall, first one in the 3rd year, called Fabled, is going to introduce 2 new rarity types, one being called Iconic, which there's only going to be, if my understanding is right, 2 in the entire set.
Yeah, there's a few Iconics, and it's basically what they're doing is they're doing some different kind of artwork. So what's exciting is Ravensburger has been pretty good about listening as far as like when it comes to people buying packs, and they've been wanting more chases. That's what a lot of the community has been talking about. Like when they buy boxes, they want more chases. The enchanted hit rate isn't always as great, but you can't. I mean, you probably could do something better than an enchanted, but what they came out with is the iconic, which is another chase for people to go after within the set. Pokemon has this where there's different levels of rarities that you can go ahead and grab for the same characters. And some of the art that they've shown, that they have like a Maleficent, which is a Maleficent dragon, which is really exciting to see, and a very powerful card to play with.
Well, and that's the thing. When I saw that, I thought to myself, like, oh, I feel like this is to boost the collectors out there of this card, because Pokemon is hot because not only is it a fun game to play, but it's also a fun game to collect. And like you said, the enchanted being as hard as it has been to hit, that's why I feel like, and that's one of the things I read was like they're adding this for the ability to have more fun to try and find this, which again, the iconic, if there's only 2 in the entire set, that seems pretty impossible to pull anything this epic card. And then the very rarest will be iconic.
Yeah, when you open a box, you're typically seeing 2 to 4 legendaries, which is good. And then when you're opening a case, sometimes you weren't even seeing, which a case is 4 boxes in Lorcana. You wouldn't even see an enchanted. And so they're trying to just balance that out. I think it's going to be a good play for the community because we want to see more hits. I mean, who doesn't, right? Like you always want to see more hits when you're opening product.
Are you finding, because I go to my local card shop and I see its stores, and Lorcana is one of these that I'm still seeing on the shelves sometimes. It's not always gone like the Pokemon is. Where do you see Lorcana headed in the future? Do you think it's getting more popular, less popular?
Definitely has its pockets. Where I first started playing, it's not popular anymore. It's fizzled out. I've gone to a different local card shop, and I'll tell you, every Sunday night, we're at least hitting a dozen to 20 people regularly. And when we do our set championship, we're hitting numbers that are like 30, 40 deep, which is pretty good for just a local card shop. I know there's some really bigger card shops that can do up to like 60. But I think when you're doing like at the end of a set, you're doing the championship series, if you can get to 30, 40, that's a pretty good turnout. And I'm in SoCal. I'm in Southern California. So it's easy for us to kind of just go around LA and hit up 4 or 5, places to go ahead and play Lorcana. But I will say that it's pockets. That's what it does feel like right now. There are pockets, and in those pockets, you do have strong community players and strong competitive players.
Do you think the Fabled release with these additional rarities in there, do you think that will add more of that chase element to bring more people in? Do you think that's enough to cause an influx in people chasing it?
The Fable product is actually going to shake up the game, because with the release of the Fable product, we're now going to a format where the first, I think it's like the first 4 sets are moving out of rotation and are not going to be playable. And so the thing about Lorcana is there are a lot of people who I have met in the Lorcana community who have never played a TCG before. They've never played a trading card game. And so they're not familiar with set rotations. They're not familiar with ban lists. They're not familiar with how trading card games just have to make shifts and pivot over time for the sake of the actual game. And so a lot of the community has been saying this is going to ruin the game. But like the reality is, if you look at every popular TCG game, they all have multiple formats, rotations, ban lists. Magic the Gathering just had a ban list update that came out with, I think it was like 6 cards. I haven't seen that in a few years.
So this is something that you think will be beneficial to the hobby, to start adding these ban lists to take cards out of the rotation that will essentially make it more similar to other popular TCGs out there?
This is how you develop the game. I really think so, because what you do is you introduce new cards, you introduce new strategies, new ways to play the actual game. You also go ahead and start building new formats, which is new ways for people to play the game. There are some Magic players, they only play with original Magic cards. There are some Magic players, they're all about the new stuff that comes out. And so that's, I think, where like Lorcana has to continue to have to move in that direction to build its gameplay, to build its community, because it's got to hit all the levels. It can't just be a collectible game. I think the only one that can really pull that off is Pokemon, just being a collectible trading card. The rest of the games, there's got to be a playing element to it, a community element to it.
No, I completely agree. I think that's only like that's. I see how Pokemon came to be as far as like no one cared about collecting that. Well, I mean, kids cared about collecting them, but they cared about gameplay first off, like before there was ever like people just buying them for collecting only. It felt like, and now with Lorcana, that's what I've heard is like a lot of people got into it because it was easier to play. It was like their first TCG and it wasn't too complicated. And now that they're starting to add more intricacy to the game, it's kind of like it feels like it's building up to the point where it's like, oh, it's harder to master, which you want at some point. Like you want it, if everyone was great at it, then what would be the point, right? So the gameplay getting better, I feel like is only going to help the resale and collectability of some of the bigger cards in there. And honestly, I think Fabled is going to be a big turnaround in the Lorcana franchise just because of that additional rarity. And now the company that makes the product is specifically thinking about the collector, not just gameplay too. So yeah, I'm hopeful.
On top of that, Fabled is a set where they're actually going to be doing reprints, which is also necessary for the game. Yeah, you need to have reprints in the game. A lot of people, again, who were new to the Lorcana trading card game, they weren't very excited about that, but reprints are needed. You have to make cards available for other players. And I always think of like the example of Magic the Gathering. The first several sets were all just reprints of the same cards.
Well, and I saw too, like this is coming up now that we've got the World Championship is over. They're going to start doing like the national events again that are going to be, I think there's like one in Richmond and one in Indianapolis and somewhere else. And so that's all building up to, again, the next World Championship, I guess, which will come next year. But that's just in the US. There was also ones in Europe and Asia and Australia as well. That I thought was pretty cool to see that there's that much of a national vibe to this, or international vibe to this, to where it's not just something that people in the States play.
It makes sense also because it's a Disney product,
yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's
like
why everyone
Disney
thought this would be huge. Exactly.
So the new DLC schedule that's come out was just announced with the Worlds. There's good and bad with this. The good is we know where the schedule. The bad part about it is it's been a while since we've had a regional tournament, and you do need to be consistent with those so that way the local people who are playing have goals to achieve as they're getting better in the game.
That makes sense. Yeah, perfect sense.
It happens with every video game, with every strategy game. You want to be able to go ahead and show what you can do within the game to others. And so they're building out their DLC circuit. There's 3 listed for North America, 3 listed for Europe. And then last week on their Lorecast, which is like almost like a weekly podcast that they do with announcements, they announced that they're going to be open to 3 more DLCs within North America that are not going to be run by Ravensburger. So there's going to be some opportunity for third-party groups or organizations who can host a Disney Lorcana challenge that will allow qualifiers to get into nationals, and then from nationals get into worlds.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, that is very interesting because I do think my thought was, I remember everybody played, but there was the championships that was a big deal. And seeing that they had the World Championship, I didn't realize it wasn't like this was already in place, like that we already had set schedules. But it sounds like maybe that is going to be happening, which hopefully only leads to this getting better. All right. Well, last question for me then is just 10 years from now, do you foresee Lorcana to still be around?
I personally do. I've played Magic for years. I played Pokemon for a few years. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I think the mechanics of the game, the IP is the golden egg of any IP that you could choose. Um, I think it has strong legs for sure.
I know that you play the game, but do you collect any of the cards? Like, do you have any graded Lorcana cards in your collection, or are we just strictly playing the game?
I do play a game. I play the game a whole lot. Collecting wise, I have a few PSA 10s in my collection, mostly erratas because I feel like those are going to be very collectible. Enchanteds, I tend to flip them. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a card dealer out here in SoCal, so I do a lot of shows. And then I'll be honest with you, I have a TCG store of about 6,000 Lorcana cards, just Lorcana. Like I have very little Magic in there, very little One Piece, but it is primarily Lorcana, and I'm shipping orders every day on that for sure.
On like TCG Player for gameplay? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite cards in your collection that are not that you're not flipping? What are David's like some of the ones like in the community that they want to collect besides like the errors?
Besides the eras, favorite cards. So there's a Mickey from the first chapter. It's the Sorcerer Mickey. He's part of the Broom Deck strategy. He's just a really cool art, like old school Phantasmic style Sorcerer Mickey. I have those in just foil, and those I'm not really always big on grading my PC cards. A lot of the stuff I like to just keep in a one touch, and so I have those. And then I've been collecting Peter Pan cards. So there's a lot of them where they're flying. Again, just movies that I liked as a kid. I think that's a really cool part of the Disney IP being printed out on trading cards. But yeah, there's few Peter Pan cards. I'm waiting for Cars.
Oh, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. They haven't done a
Lightning
Cars
McQueen, Mater. That's a movie that's current for us, right? That's within the past few years. There's 3 of them that have come out. You can go back to the old black and white films and have a Steamboat Willie. There's a Steamboat Willie Mickey, but you could have cards from that era as well. There's plenty of Snow White cards. There's a whole legacy that this card game can pull from.
That's cool.
And I think that's what's going to be really good for it in the future.
After I did some research on this, I went out and I bought in a pre-sale 3 cases of the fabled product. I went ahead and added that because I was just like, I already saw a number of people trying to charge $140 to $150 a box for this. And most of these have been the last few releases, at least like $100 a box. And it's like, I found a site where they were still selling them for like 105. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get some. And worst case, I may hold a couple and may flip one and we'll see, but I don't know. I have guys asking me to break it all the time. And I still have a chapter 1 case. I have a case of chapter 1 that I've just held on to. It's in my closet right now. And I've thought to myself, man, I love the Disney IP so much. I wish I had more. And so I was like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to see.
Yeah. I mean, during the World's Tournament, they announced a really exciting lottery that you could jump into to buy first chapter boxes. It was like a 2-step process. So that way it didn't have to, that way bots wouldn't take over or anything like that. And so you were basically in this lottery pick and you had a chance to pick up first chapter boxes for, I think, like 140, 150 bucks.
Oh, wow.
And they did announce that this was going to be the last time they were offering it. So that is pretty good that you have a case, because I don't think they're going to be reprinting first chapter going forward after Fable.
Love to hear that. All right. Awesome. Well, hey, David, again, thank you so much for coming on, going into a little bit more detail for myself, for Ray, for the audience. You said you work at, or you're part of a card shop out there?
No, I actually I do work for the West Coast Card Show.
David, thank you again. Really appreciate the insight, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. As someone who's been mainly a Pokemon guy, do you ever see yourself doing any Lorcana stuff?
I do like, again, when the first chapter came out, I sold a lot of it. I was doing breaks on whatnot, and I pulled a Enchanted Elsa, and it got sold, and I think he graded it, and it came back at 10.
Oh, really?
So
I actually have I think it's.
Don't you have an Elsa? Didn't you say you have?
I don't have an Elsa anymore, but I do have a Maui. I think is what
Maui.
Now I can't remember. He may have been out of the
second set. Yeah.
But I have one of those that I need to get graded.
I'm not a big fan of the artwork.
Oh, really? You don't like the artwork?
Yeah. Well, the way, I don't know. I'm like used to seeing Pokemon and the texture and everything else.
Oh, that's fair.
It's just the needs I don't know, like they're leaving like some money on the table, or like you said, it's not, and I'm completely fine with this. Like I'm seeing Lorcana through a collector's eye, not a person that is playing the TCG. So if I'm looking at it as a person that loves TCGs, is a player going to the nationals and all that stuff, and if the mechanics are good and the game is good, I could care less what the cards look like. Right?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So it's two different things.
Well, I think the fact that they're adding these 2 new rarities and that they will have like a different look to them, I'm curious what the artwork does look like if they start imply or applying what Pokemon has done, like with like an SIR or something like that, where it's like you have these full art cards on there. I would be very curious, and I think if anything, it sounds like they are at least listening to the guys who play and the guys who collect, which is what you have to do if you're going to make a TCG successful.
And they can always, if it's really down, they can be like, all right, let's hire somebody that used to work for Magic. Let's hire somebody that used to work for Pokemon International.
I'd be surprised if they haven't
switch it up.
Poached some people, or they at least try to. But anyways, speaking of the National, not the Nashville National,
but the
National in Chicago, I will be going to it. I'm excited. I will hopefully be getting us some content to talk about and
it's in Chicago this year.
It's in Chicago. Next year, maybe we can get you to come out for it. If not, I do want to go to a Collecticon.
Where is have they already said where it was going to be? It's going to be next year.
I think they did, and now I am blanking. I want to say that maybe back in Cleveland, or actually it could be back in Chicago again. They may have been back to back. I'll double check, but at the National this year, the other sponsor of the show, DC Sports 87, best consignor out there by far. They are going to be at the show, set up in the dealer's booth area, and they're going to be doing a special where if you bring any card, $50 or over, or it is a national exclusive card, like they were just giving them out at the National, they will take your card for no fee and have it listed next day. So that is something that's, if you're going to be at the National, take advantage of it, because it is a very, very good deal, especially for those national exclusives, because sometimes you're the very first or one of the very first to have that up online. And when you have it on a site like DC that's got more eyes than any other personal eBay account, you're probably gonna get the best bang for your buck, right?
Yeah, I had my friend Carrie, American Arbitrage Cards. He pulled one of the Caitlin Clark national cards at last year.
The throwback set I wanted to talk about just briefly. This is one of those where guys ask me all the time, like, hey, what other non-sport sets do you like that have like celebrity autos or historical autos or things like that? This one I have heard about a number of times, and I just haven't looked into enough until now. It's the 2009 Topps American Heritage product. Now, typically, Topps Heritage is a baseball product.
Yeah.
Topps American Heritage had baseball players in it, but it also had cut autos from celebrities and it had autos from celebrities, but then it had cut autos from, I believe, every president from George Washington down to Obama.
Really?
Every president.
When did this product come out?
2009. So this is 16 years old. You start going through, and from what I can find, there's a number of cards from like the presidential cards that I have not seen on sales history for like on the card ladder. I'll go on there and look at sales history because they'll pull in data from multiple different sites. I have not seen anybody with like the Lincoln cut auto or the George Washington cut auto. I saw some on there.
They do exist.
Yeah, I mean, according to the checklist, they exist.
Nixon cut
auto. Babe Ruth has been found. Actually, I don't know if the Nixon one has or not. Babe Ruth, I think the last time that sold was like 2020. It was like for $6,200 or something. But this was July 2020, so this is technically, I think, right before the big boom. So I'd be curious what something like that would sell for right now. There haven't been a lot of these sold recently. There was one sold, I think the Woodrow Wilson was sold in December of 23 for like $1,700 or something like that. There are also like numbered serialized cards in here. Some go to 1776, which kind of makes sense. But then there's others that just go to 76, and those at times have done upwards of like $1,000 for like an Abraham Lincoln or something like that that's graded like a PSA 10. Granted, I don't think they're doing nearly what they were doing a few years back, but it is still
Abraham Lincoln's
really
down.
Abraham Lincoln, at least in that set, is down. But again, that's not the cut auto. Again, I don't think anyone has found that specific card. But they also have like BB King. They've got. Now, these are, again, celebrities of 2009 that they were able to get.
Oh,
in here.
yeah.
So,
Let's see who's on
got
2009.
David Cross. David Cross is he's the brother-in-law on Arrested Development, who is the.
I've never watched that show.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He is the analrapist, is his professional. Anyways, he's in there. Eric Estrada, Jackie Mason, Jesse Ventura, Keith Olbermann, Michael Phelps.
Ooh, I know that guy.
Heard of him.
Gold
We're
medalist.
familiar. To be fair, I've heard of all of these guys, but yeah. Penn and Teller, which I would actually, that'd be kind of cool.
Are they both still around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're still doing the show, I believe. Rip Torn, who he's like always throwing confetti and he's like a comedian type. It's just such a weird.
Rip
and then
Torn.
Carrie Walsh / Misty May Trainer. So those are a few of the autos. But like I said, you've got every president cut auto in there. But not only that, you also have Babe Ruth is in there. You have Jackie Robinson, Mickey Mantle cut autos.
This is a fire. This is a fire
I know.
product.
Well, any idea on what this may be going for these days? Like a box of this? So a hobby box was 24 packs of 8 cards each. I will tell you right now, looking on eBay, they're going for
$5K.
No, not that high. That would be pretty insane. But like 1,300 or so, 13 to 1,500.
I wonder what the pull rates is to get a president autograph.
Oh, baby. I've been pulling data off of, this is one of the best websites for non-sport cards. It's called, it's Jeff Alliender's House of Checklists.
Terrible.
I agree. The actual website is nslists.com. nslists.com.
Come be a sponsor of the show, nslist.com.
But it is very valuable as far as like they give good information. Admiral George Dewey,
The Dewey Decimal System
Susan
guy.
B. Anthony,
Ooh, I know her.
Todd Lincoln, which I believe is a Lincoln's son, Orville Wright.
Not Redenbacher?
Not Redenbacher. These are all autos of people who are also in this product. They have cut autos. That is 1 in 24,000 hobby packs. I think it's a really cool because you also, not only that, you do have you've got dual autos and you've got quad autos in here. Like one of the quad autos is like, I don't know who Margaret Hamilton
Like the founding
is.
fathers?
Is she related to George?
Margaret Hamilton?
Yeah, Margaret Hamilton. I don't
Is that
remember
one of
her in
the
the musical.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember. But Ray Bolger, Bert Lahr, and Judy Garland. I know of Judy Garland.
This is a quad auto?
That's a quad auto. You also have a quad auto of Al Gore, Henry Wallace, Schuler Colfax, and Hannibal Hamlin. Again, I don't know who made this product. It's such a weird thing, but it's also like right up my alley. I think it would be so cool. There's a Jackie Robinson, Barack Obama dual cut auto.
It's pretty dope.
Richard Nixon and Jimmy Fox. Anyways, it's a very cool product.
Jimmy Fox?
Yeah, not Jamie Foxx.
Who is Jimmy Fox?
I think it's an athlete. I think it's a baseball player.
Okay.
At this point, I know nothing else.
2009?
Exactly.
Okay.
But there you go. It's also got relics in there. It's overall a cool product. It is again one of these where I wish Topps would do more things like this, which they are. They're doing stuff specifically with Marvel and they're doing stuff with Disney, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I want that to continue to happen, but it would also be cool to do these like just celebrities and just like American history and all this other stuff. So
That's cool. I like that. That product is
yeah, that one I'm excited about. New releases. You have the thing on the new Pokemon products.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just throw this out there because we are, as I mentioned, I'm going to go see Superman tonight, which I've heard very good things about. There is a Superman set coming out from Upper Deck.
Is it associated with the movie or is
Not
it just the
with
IP?
the
Okay.
yeah, not with the movie. So this is Fleer Brilliance Superman is what it's called. Going through it, I'll tell you, I'm not super pumped about it, but it'll be a fun rip, especially for kids who just got out of seeing the Superman movie. They want to open some cards. There are going to be like parallels. There's going to be numbered cards. It is animated, so it's not like any celebrity autos in there. I don't believe there's any relic cards or anything, but it's also like a $50 box, so it's not crazy. This is like one of their big kickoff products, I think, for going into this whole DC universe. I mean, they've already put out, I think, one or two things, but the next big one, Batman, that we will talk more about. That one's going to be very big. But this one comes out tomorrow, Wednesday the 16th. Again, I think it'll be popular for maybe a younger audience. Maybe there are still like adult collectors who are looking for this one, but I think overall we may be looking for more of like what we're going to be getting with the next Batman product, where you're going to have like the metal cards in there, and you'll have like the PMG cards in there and things. So yeah, overall it'll be an exciting thing if they do this with Superman as well.
When does the Batman product come out?
We don't know. TBD. It keeps getting pushed. I think it may be August right now. We'll see.
Okay.
So Upper Deck's also going to be in that. I started saying this on the last episode, but I think we just went off on a tangent. I never finished it, but I mentioned they were going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con, which I think is cool. I wish other companies like Topps, I wish they would do this as well, but they're going to be there giving away like DC cards, some like older style DC cards, but they're also going to have
Exclusive to the Comic-Con?
So it's they said that it includes characters that appeared in DC Comics first 10 years, and it's like this retro Gaudy's like some card sets that they do, inspired designs for those DC characters. Then they also said they're gonna have like a Peacemaker exclusive cards there as well. Cena? So yeah, John Cena Peacemaker, and then I don't know who this person is, but Jeff Steitzer signing. I think he has something to do with Halo. He's going to be there.
The video game?
He's the iconic Halo announcer. He's like, finish him.
Oh,
okay. That guy.
That was really good, Jesse.
I actually thought so too. When I said it, I was like, did that come out of my mouth?
Triple kill or
Killtacular.
Yeah.
I think the sick voice is kind of adding to my ability to. I need to take today and record all of those voices. So, anyways, that's cool. I like that Upper Deck is going out of their way to set up at this show, especially at such a big non-sport show. It's not a card show, but they will at least have card representation there, which I appreciate.
Who had card representation at the Nashville?
Who?
Your boys over at V-Friends.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you notice my V-Friends shirt, by the way?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you noticed this, and I forgot to talk about it until you just said that. Well, the only reason I got this was because I realized I use like this app, shop.com or something.
Okay.
And I pay for things through it, and apparently I've been building up points as I pay for things, and I didn't know I could use those points to go buy things. And V-Friends has their shop, and I think they have shirts for every character that they make.
I could tell because the quality on the print there, it's like, come on, Gary, let's spend a little.
You don't
need to,
not great?
No.
Okay.
I need to do a little like screen printing instead of that iron.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll see how it does.
It holds up
in the wash.
Exactly.
But I got the Gracious Grizzly Bear because I like to think of myself as a gracious grizzly.
Okay.
And that being the case, though, I was like, oh, I'll buy this, but I don't know. I think the fact that V-Friends is still popular right now, I'm like, I don't mind sporting a V-Friends shirt. I think it's kind of fun anyways, but
if anything, it gets the conversation going. Like, hey, what kind of shirt are you wearing? It's like, well, let me tell you.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I have no foot in the camp of V Friends as far as like there's no benefit I get for talking about it or promoting it. I want
You're not
product
pumping and dumping.
No, I mean I want to pump it all day if I can get some product. But that's the thing. I have no lines on products unless they do this whole Steph Curry sticker product that's coming out. I may get some of that, which would be awesome. But at the same time, no one's said anything about it. So all I know is I like the message and I like what he's doing. I like the pump behind it, that he's like actually pushing it as not just like a pump because he said so, but a pump because of multiple reasons. There's people that like it. There's messaging around it. There's gameplay in some sense, but there's also collectability. There's like a lot of things. And people gave like a lot of flack for that, like for pumping or talking about this, like, which again, how do you distinguish the two, right? Pumping and talking about it. I will say it's still a huge risk for anybody who buys into it, because if you're going to buy in at a high level or a big amount, yeah, maybe it drops to nothing one day. But at the same time, like if people are buying Lorcana and they did the same thing, no one's like coming after, oh, these guys pumping Lorcana over here and that's gonna fail because Mr. Ravensburger is a fool or whatever, they say about Gary. So it's like I don't know. I just think of it as, well, he's doing things that seem right if you would want to start your own TCG and make it successful. So yeah, I say more power to him, and I would hope it's successful.